You got boogers in your eyes. Yeah. Good morning, Thompson Farmstead Adventurers. Harley's all excited. Oops, I forgot the key to the shop. Come on, let's go get the key to the shop. Today, what we're going to do today is Matthew and I are going to work on this new product we bought called the QuietCool. And basically what this is normally used for is like a whole house attic fan. You stick this like in the hallway someplace, and yeah, it comes with a nice little grill, you know, that goes in your ceiling right there. Let me show the front of it. You can even put a filter in, I'm not sure. Anyways, so what's going on here is that I'm doing it differently. What I've done, because this house is new to me, living in Oklahoma is new to me, and looks like that we've got some electrical going on, possibly part of the problem. Oh, that's actually, no, that's gas line. That looks like gas line going in down the street here. But anyways, since Oklahoma's new to me and the weather and all that stuff keeps changing so drastically, what I'm looking at is that all those little vents on top of the roof that you see right up there, well, for the most part, they're supposed to be there to help allow the heat to come out during the summertime. During the wintertime, it's no bueno, you know, it's not good. Because what happens there is that we've seen, when we moved in here in December of 2020, Harley just realized that, sorry for the quick change of camera, that Matthew just showed up, so Harley's all excited. But what we found out in 2020 is that when you get snow on the roof, the wind will blow it in, and then inside the ceilings of every single one of those things, you get a small little snow drift. And then when it melts, it stains the ceiling, it weakens the drywall. And we've had this issue after issue every time it's snowed. And so for the 2.5 years that we've been here, we've had 3 snow drifts in the attic. You can see when we go up inside this staircase here to this huge attic, that's going to eventually be another room, which is a whole nother episode there. You can look down. When I went up there, I was trying to find out what the heck's going on in the master bedroom, primary bedroom, however you want to call it. There was water coming through, and you can see the paper, you know, the drywall tape peeling off because it's on a curvature going to a coffered ceiling. Well, the whole part of that coming apart is because it kept snowing in the attic, melting, and then weakening the drywall mud and all that stuff, and that's where we got the issues going on. So anyways, we went through and put plywood all in this attic, and now that area up there is 18 feet from the ceiling to the peak, and the areas that I had to get to is on the other side facing the main street. And just a lot of time just putting plywood in, and we'll show you all the plywood and all the stuff that we've done here and there. But we went ahead and took a 1.5-inch foam board, cut it out to the size of the opening, shoved up inside there, took some plywood, stuck it up there, and then took 2x4s and went across it and braced it with pocket screws just to hold all that stuff in place. So later on, if I end up having this roof redone, which I don't really think I need to, because it looks like it might have been a 50-year, because it's been holding up pretty good, and the house was built in 2008. But if we end up having this roof redone when we're going to sell it, then I'll have, of course, all those vents on top taken off and covered up with the roofing. So for the summertime, you need to have a way to extract the heat out of the house, otherwise it radiates through the ceiling. And I don't care if you have R60 in there, which is what we're going to end up putting in there later on. We have R30 blown in, but we're going to pack it down to where it's the height of the 2x6s, because in some areas it just kind of, there's nothing there. Wires, electrical wires are going across the joists, and it never got inside the bays. So we're going to go through and take care of all that when we get ready to insulate. But for today, we're going to put that up in the attic. I reversed it to where instead of it going up this way and out, it's going to actually go from inside the attic and blow out. So it'll suck the air out of the attic. And since we have multiple vents on the eaves here all the way around, we'll have plenty of ventilation, and I most likely will be adding more trunk lines up in the attic to help suck the heat from the top. The 2x6s that are going across this way to hold up this paneling are actually 16 on center. My opening is almost like a 14.5 by 18.5. Let's go up here. Now this access panel out in the middle of nowhere was already here, because they have right there a light switch, which is convenient. And anyways, so here's the ducts that we ran that area. These ducts here are for future, that's why they're tied off. This is for the future bedroom. And there's our fan right there, and it's going to go back in there. Flashlight. And go back over in that area. Also, what we're working on too while we're up here is that this room here, since I have it such a long duct and I haven't balanced out the air yet with dampers, and I'm still not done, we got certain parts of the house that gets more air than the rest of it. And since this is the farthest run, it does get cool in here in that room over there. But I've noticed though it just needs a little more air, so I went ahead and purchased this duct fan, which is a booster fan, and it puts out, what is it, 900, where's it at, 975 CFM. So that'll take and add some more CFMs to here. So we're going to go ahead and add that right before these TYs to the bedroom. So I've got it marked out right now. We know that the opening size is going to be 14.5 by 18.5. I'm playing off of my edges here, my manufactured edges from the board here. I got it going in about 6.5 inches here, coming over. So I'm going in from here to here, 6.5. I know that my span is 32, which is right about here where that dot's at. So that gives me room to work in between. And my other ceiling joist is right here. There's a nail, small little nail there. You can barely see a nail head there, which kind of matches up with that one there. I went ahead and cut out the centerpiece here, or the center joist. I got to trim it back so I can head it out, and do the same thing to this one here. Trim it back so I can head it out. This is the right opening size, 14.5 by 18.5. I'll fit that little grill frame down there. And then I cut off the pieces here that were cantilevered out, and as you can see, it gives me plenty of room up there to put my fan facing this way. Alrighty, it's almost lunchtime. The wife is off the mower. We got it inside, but I'm noticing, and I didn't even think about it until just now, that the wood here is 3/8 thick. The flange on this here is good for 1/2 inch to 5 inch drywall, so that means this thing protrudes down. Let's see here. Right now it's about 25 after 11. And the attic is already at 106 degrees. It's getting there. All right, folks. Now we're finally getting this thing done. We've had a lot of little setbacks, just because we're really not pushing ourselves to get this thing done. It's just, it's hot out. Anyways, I wanted to give you a little update. As I took off the flanges, which are called plaster grounds, they actually just had them nibbled on, which is just a little indentation at this end and that end on all 4 sides. Pretty much here and there, you can see the little dimple right there. Well, I have those dimplers. That's what they're called, dimplers. I have those dimplers for when we put the plenum caps on and stuff like that. But anyways, went ahead and headed it out here and there. Put our crosses in there. We just pocket screwed those because it's just tight right now. It's hitting the roof line up there. But you know, it's just a matter of setting it in. And right now, even though it's coming down low, I'll be able to flush it out and screw it in with some tech screws. I'll get that on. I'll get it screwed in on all four sides, nice and flush. Then I'm going to go ahead and take some of the paint that we have for this here, and I'm just going to paint around it for right now, let it dry, and then put the grill up. Put a fresh coat of paint on here that matches. Probably barely see it. Might have a little sheen to it. So we sprayed the grill that used to be white with the rustic color. That's almost that color. And where's it at? Let's go find it. Do the maze here. It's a primer. Red oxide primer. But the stuff works good as a regular paint. Look at that. Get that sheen out of there. Today is going to be a hot one. This is what they do out here in Oklahoma. They give this update, excessive heat warning. Because what? For the excessive heat warning, dangerously hot. Let's open it up. Yeah. Let's see here. Basically, it says stay inside. It's too hot. You know, all our locations and stuff. So let's go inside real quick. All right, 2:20 according to that clock. And the attic. I need to reset that clock. The attic is 122 degrees. And this is what 122 degrees looks like when you go up there.
For about 4 minutes. Long enough to turn some lights on.
So, this is what our dogs need to be doing. Just kicking in here, nice cold tile. But, anyways, so that's what's going on in the attic right now. So tomorrow, it looks like we'll end up putting power in because I'm not going up there. 122 degrees. I've lost that kind of desire to get the job done because it's my own house. If it was a customer's house, yeah, I'd be up there. I'd have no choice. Yeah. I've been in the hottest attics I've been in was Palm Springs. It was actually about 122 degrees outside. Today, I think we're pushing, well, it's usually between 25 to 30 degrees difference from outside to inside because the asphalt roof will put off more. In some cases, metal roofs will put off less because they'll have more of an insulation barrier between them if they have it. Usually they'll put like a 1 inch to 1.5, even 2 inch insulation before they put the metal roof on. Where here, it's just straight on to the OSB, the 7/16 OSB, or zip board, or whatever you want to call it. And anyways, the attic in Palm Springs was 163 degrees. Nobody was living in it. It was a previous customer of mine. I already did his house out in like Hawthorne or something like that out there, Inglewood, Hawthorne of California. Did his mom's house, did his sister's house, did all that stuff. So it's time for him to retire, and he bought this house out in Palm Springs. You know, and Palm Springs is kind of like the community for people to go to that, well, they want to retire instead of going to Florida. Well, the track house people use stucco on the outside of the houses out there, and they didn't cover the refrigerant lines, and stucco got inside the pipe. And well, I'm up inside this 163 degree attic with a bucket of water for the tools that can submerge, like my screwdrivers and stuff like that. I'm only up there like 5 minutes at a time. I call up my customer. I say, hey, is it possible if I can grab a bunch of towels out of your closet here that I see? Because he didn't hardly have anything. He was just moving in. But he did have a refrigerator, thank God. And he also had a pool, but the pool was like 90 degrees. So it didn't really help to cool off. And I told him, I go, the attic is 163 degrees and I need to use your towels to get them wet, throw them in the freezer so I can wrap them around my neck and my head. And he goes, absolutely, Jeff. Come and goes, oh my gosh. And I took pictures of my thermometer at the time because I didn't have iPhones. We didn't have all that stuff then. We still had pagers. I think pagers just came out. Beep, 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 beep. Anyways, I know I took pictures because I did carry around disposable cameras and stuff like that and Polaroids for some of the jobs. That's how I started building like a little book on what I did. But anyways, 163 degrees was the hottest I've been in. So 122, yeah, it's doable. But why?